One of the questions that I get from agency partners all the time that are pitching to small business owners, medium-sized businesses, is in the area of contracts. Do you recommend contracts for my clients? Maybe it's 90 days, 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. It's a great question. I get a lot of questions. Again, this is more of a recommendation as opposed to a hard and fast rule. There's the side of financial aspect, right? When you're working with a client, can you predict this client going to be staying with you for 90 days or 6 months to a year? And there's also the side of delivering value so the client would never cancel the services in the first place. So I want to speak to both sides. I want to make sure that customers really understand why they're working with an agency or why they want to make sure that they sign a contract, because it's both sides of the story, right? You want to make sure that as an agency owner that you're going to invest so much time up front that is going to pay back, because the amount of time you might spend will not be recovered in 1 month or 2 months to onboard a new customer. Being an agency partner for so many years, for so many agencies, we understand how much time and work it is upfront to work with the client to get them onboarded, even sometimes paying off the advertising costs, the sales cost, and so forth, right? That's what we call the CAC, customer acquisition cost. So you want to make sure you recover that. And for every single agency, that cost is different. So you might need 90 days to recover that, and 6 months or even longer, depending on your overhead and your structure. The other side of it is the client wanting to make sure that they're going to get really amazing results before they put some contract together, and always worried about being stuck with a contract that they no longer want to be in, right? So there's that side as well. Happy to tell you here at Clickx, every single campaign is on a month-to-month basis. We don't have any contracts for our partners because we want to make sure that we give you the flexibility to be able to run your business as you would wish, right? You can run month-to-month campaigns with clients, quarterly campaigns, 6 months, 1 year. We have partners that are doing all of that. Sometimes 3 years contract we've seen, especially for digital marketing. It's not uncommon. People are doing it. We don't want to tie our partners up with any kind of contract, so we let our partners decide what's best for their agency. We work with our partners on a month-to-month basis with a 30 days of cancellation notice. This works really best. We work several weeks, sometimes months in advance. So we want to make sure that our partners understand that cancellation policies are very straightforward, black and white. However, figuring out what contract length makes best sense for you is really up to you, based on your advertising costs, based on your sales overhead, and the amount of time and energy it takes you to recover whatever that upfront cost in acquiring a new customers. I've seen everything from 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Extremely common. Not having a contract, however, is probably more risky today than having a contract. So we don't recommend it. However, we work with partners all the time, and we don't want to put our partners in any sort of bind. So we want to make sure that we're here for the long haul, whether the client's here for 3 years or they're here for 3 months. We want to make sure that we take good care of the client and our partner so that we can work together on a long-term basis. So if you have more questions about best practices, recommendations on contracts, we have a lot of resources. We have technology resources. We have a lot of training, right? We have an entire team that is dedicated to help you grow. We have tons and tons of case studies and track record of success that you can use to get the trust and the commitment from the client for a long term. And finally, tons of transparency on how we do things and how you can leverage our resources to grow your agency. So if you have more questions about contracts and the length, the best practices, my recommendations, one of it is our live webinars that we host every single week right here at Clickx. You can also schedule a one-to-one or email us your questions, and we can certainly dive a little deeper into this subject and find out what might make sense for your agency. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of this video, and I will see you next time.